I used to think I was totally nailing life and productivity because I was always on top of my email. I would check my email all the time. I mean, like a billion times a day. I could be checking it on any device because I had it on all devices, including my mobile phone. I might check it up to every 10 minutes or maybe even every 5 minutes sometimes. And I was happy because I felt like I knew exactly what was coming in. I knew what tasks were ahead of me for the day and what people were expecting of me. And I worked really hard to get inbox zero. I thought I was productive, but actually it was really impairing my productivity. Now, I just spend 15 minutes a day, once a day, in my email inbox, and I do not go back to my inbox until the next day. And that has had a dramatic effect on improving my productivity. Here's how I do it. Reading Tiago Forte's plan, which I have linked to in the show notes, it really made me realise that that's exactly what I needed to do. And it's so applicable to us in healthcare because we're all part of different jobs maybe, or even different teams and different projects. And we get emails and tasks coming in from loads of different people and we have to report to loads of different people. And it can be really hard to manage these competing priorities. And our email needs to be better under control to allow us to do that. I thought I was doing that well before, but I wasn't. Having my inbox there and my pings coming on all the time was making me less productive. When I was trying to work on something on my computer, I'd see a pop-up when a new email came in, or I'd see the number change of notifications on my phone, and that just breaks my attention. And although it seems like it might be a very quick thing, because it might be just a quick email that I read and reply or delete, or maybe I just see the notification and know that I don't need to worry about it, it breaks my train of thought. And what it meant was that I then had to get back into that task that I was at. So even though the break itself may have been 30 seconds or maybe even 2 seconds, I'd have to spend a lot of time getting back on track with the project I was working on. So it's really distracting. I couldn't complete my task list for the day because more tasks would always come in. I'd start the day knowing what I had to do, but then more things would come in an email and I'd think, oh, actually, I should do that first, or I should do that first. And therefore other things would get bumped. So I would never actually complete what I had set out to do in the day. Also, my task list and my to-do list, it wasn't controlled by me. It was controlled by literally anyone in the world who wanted to send me an email, because my task list changed depending on what email came in from someone else, and that could be any time of the day or night, and it completely would change the steer of my direction for the day. Actually, what I've been able to do is regain control of my task list by managing my email better, and that's allowed me to be more productive. The first thing I did to try to change this was to not use multiple email inboxes. So like you, I'm sure I have loads of different email accounts. I think I've probably got 5 or 6 that I check, and I have them all together in one email client. So I use Outlook, but I'm sure you've got your own one that you prefer. All of these email clients have an option to have a shared inbox, so that means you only go to one place to check your email. I used to put them into different folders or stuff, but that just means there's more places for me to have to look. So I have them all going into one inbox, so there's only one place I need to check for all my emails, so try and do the same. So then I sit down and I do it in the morning, but you could do it any time of day, and I spend 15 minutes checking my email and I can get through them all. To give you an idea, I get about 150 to 200 emails a day, and I'm very able to do that within 15 minutes. There are certain things that you can do while you're in your inbox during that time, and the things that I do here are emails that need to be deleted, that can be replied to quickly, or to be unsubscribed from. Unsubscribe is straightforward. I have found over the years I've accumulated being on a number of mailing lists or newsletters that I don't actually want to be on. I take the time now during that 15 minutes when I can to unsubscribe. All of these emails have an unsubscribe button at the bottom. It's very simple to do, and over time that's reduced the amount of unsubscribing I have to do, so it's worth investing the time here. Then some emails can be quickly replied to. They might be just that someone needs to know you've read it, so thanks, yes, that's great, I'll be there, whatever it is. So some things that can be replied to very quickly within a minute or 30 seconds, I'll do it during that 15 minutes when I'm in my inbox. The easiest category is delete. So there's some that you won't need to read at all, or some that you just need to have read, and then you can delete them. So that's a very quick way to get rid of some of these emails. The remaining emails fall into 4 categories, and so I separate them into these categories, and they are calendar things, so meetings, things that need to be scheduled. There are reference, so things that I don't necessarily need now, but I may need to call on them in 6 months' time. The third category is things that I can't read now, but I do want to read later this day or later in the week. And the final category is task management, so things that I actually am going to have to do. The principle here is to use my email as a triage system. So basically, things come in, I triage them off to the relevant places, and then I close my inbox. So I'm only in there once a day to do triage, and then the rest of the day is spent doing the other tasks that I've triaged. Calendar is fairly straightforward. Lots of things will be meetings I need to attend or meetings that we're trying to arrange. And so I add these to the calendar at the time when I'm in my inbox. Some things need to be scheduled. I've tried to streamline this a bit, but it's still a work in progress. So I try to, rather than say, yes, we could do sometime next week, which times work for you, I will suggest a specific time. So how about next Thursday at 2 p.m, here is the Zoom link. And that means that if that can go ahead, it's all sorted and scheduled and in my calendar already. If we need to change it, then at least we've got something to work on. But basically trying to reduce the back and forth emails to arrange these kind of meetings. So calendar is fairly straightforward. I use Fantastical for my calendar app. I'm sure you've got your own preference. Reference articles. So these are things that I will want to be able to look back on, or I know I'll want to find next year or next month, and they need to be in a place that I can easily find. I use Evernote for this. It is a great app for keeping notes, keeping images, keeping clips. You can keep audio clips there, PDFs, basically anything you want that you're going to be able to need to refer back to, you can put in Evernote, and you tag them. So I might have tags for various work projects, and it makes it easier to find things. This is a great way to store references. Now, you can either save them from the actual document directly to Evernote, from my email. If I know it needs to go in Evernote, I can forward the email to my Evernote email address and it'll appear in my Evernote account, and then I delete it from my inbox. There's lots of things that I will want to read and I need to read, but I can't read at the time I'm in my inbox, because I'm trying to limit that time I'm in my inbox. The more I'm there, the more and more things come in. So I want to get in there, do the triage and get out. And that's where Read It Later app comes in. I use Instapaper, which is amazing, and I highly recommend it. That might be longer emails that need a bit more time for me to read. It might be links to journal articles, and I'll add other things here. So Twitter threads I want to read later, or other articles that people have linked to, or websites that I want to check out. It all gets added to Instapaper, and again, I've got a forwarding email that I can send that to. And that means when I've got time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I want to sit down and do some light reading, I just open my Instapaper app and my whole feed is there. I can also highlight stuff while I'm reading, and I have found this to be really useful. I didn't think I would use it, but it's great. I'll probably do another video about how I use the highlighting feature to help me find things again in future. But first off, it's just really made a difference being able to have a place to go to for all the things that I need to read, but without having to be in my inbox for that. Task management is a really important thing, and actually many of my emails that come in are tasks for me to do, either quick tasks or longer tasks are part of bigger projects. And this is where my task management app, OmniFocus, has revolutionized my life. And I mean, seriously revolutionized it. I put everything in OmniFocus. Every time anyone asks me to do anything, it goes down into OmniFocus. That could be from, could you do a reference request for this person, to could you pick up some milk on your way home? It all goes in there. It means I don't need to rely on things being stored in my brain or being able to recall them. There's lots of wonderful ways to use OmniFocus, but essentially I am able to tag them and prioritize them. So some tasks I need to do now, some will be for this month, some can have a particular date, and you can categorize them as to whatever way you find most useful. I will make a separate video on OmniFocus, but check it out. It's completely changed how I do things, and what it means is that some tasks, the ones you know that you put off for ages and then eventually slip your mind, they cannot slip your mind any longer because they're there on OmniFocus, and so it means I end up getting these done as well. It's really made a huge difference. So I've gone into my email for 15 minutes, I've sorted the ones that can be sorted straight away, and then I've forwarded the rest to the various apps or categories that we've discussed, and that is it. Then I close my inbox and I do not go in my inbox for the rest of the day. I can then spend the rest of the day, when I have time, working on these different things. So picking off a task from OmniFocus that needs to be done, or reading something on Instapaper. It really has dramatically increased my productivity. Although I was filled with fear at the beginning, what would happen within 24 hours if I did not check my email? But the truth is, nothing will happen, because there really isn't any emails that you get that you have to respond to within 24 hours. Or if there is, you need to revise your system, because people who have something really urgent should be able to pick up the phone or find you. I've been doing this for a while now. I've not had any disastrous consequences from only checking my emails once in 24 hours. It's really not that bad once you make that initial jump, so give it a go. I check my email only once a day, and actually I don't even check it on the weekend. It's not on my phone, and my life is happier, freer, and although it seems counterintuitive initially, I am more productive than I was when I thought I was nailing it by checking my email all the time. So try it and let me know how you get on.